Here's how hard the pandemic has hit the local economy. Fewer people are working in the Erie and Niagara counties than in the last 30 years, maybe longer. The days of our so-called economic renaissance are long gone. 2 years ago, we reached peak private sector employment. Now we're down nearly 10%. That's even worse than after the Great Recession.
The problem is that after a fairly delayed but decent recovery since the Great Recession, the number of private sector jobs in Buffalo is now at its lowest level on record in the last 30 years.
The Empire Center for Public Policy did a study of payrolls for Investigative Post. It showed that all industrial sectors in Erie and Niagara counties lost jobs over the past year. But the pain has not been spread out evenly. Manufacturing has weathered the pandemic better than any sector. Financial services, including banks, have also suffered relatively small job losses. Eds and meds, medical care and higher education, are in the middle of the pack. They've lost some 7,600 jobs, or nearly 8% of their workforce. McMahon said the healthcare sector is slowly rebounding. Not higher education. The population of young adults of college age is shrinking, and the competition among colleges and universities has heated up.
What happened with the pandemic is that all of those stresses have been hugely magnified, and the comeback is going to be very difficult, and there's not going to be a complete comeback to the pre-pandemic level for higher ed.
The hardest hit sectors come as no surprise. Leisure and hospitality, including restaurants and bars, have shed a quarter of their jobs. Trade, which includes retail stores, has lost 1 in 10 jobs. The carnage is evident here on Hurdle Avenue in North Buffalo. The owners of this popular Italian restaurant closed shop a couple weeks ago, slapped up a for sale sign. Just down the block, this bookstore emptied out its storefront recently after officially closing back in May. The local economy is recovering, however. It's regained a little over half the jobs that were initially lost this spring.
The prospects for continued recovery depend very heavily on the pace of the recovery from the pandemic and the loosening of the restrictions that were imposed to deal with the pandemic. And this is going to be a very difficult recovery period.
Looking for a silver lining? Well, Rochester, Syracuse, and Albany have all lost a bigger share of jobs than we have. And the official unemployment rate here in Buffalo Niagara has fallen below 7%. But a new report from the business school at Canisius College says that's partly due because the workforce has shrunk. The real unemployment rate, according to the report, is around 10%. Not good. And when you look at the bigger picture for job losses, Buffalo Niagara is faring worse than 5 out of every 6 metropolitan areas around the country. Our analysis focused on employment in the private sector. But the numbers also reveal that there's one sector that's actually added jobs, the state and federal governments. They've added 2,800 jobs. On the other hand, local governments, strapped by revenue losses, have cut their payrolls by 5,600. For Channel 2 News, I'm Jim Heaney with Investigative Post.